So, how many of you guys went to powwow? Powwow. Good. University of Scouting is coming up in February. I've forgotten the exact date, but it will be out there pretty soon.
25th.
When is it?
25th.
25th. Make sure you look for that coming up. It's another great opportunity for training. At the most recent powwow, I taught a course called Cub Scouts Love Pack Pizzazz. And what I've decided to do is I've broken my presentation into about 6 or 7 parts, and I'm going to do just a tiny little bit of it each roundtable, just to give just a little information. Hey, you know, if I don't have to reinvent the wheel, why not reinvent the wheel, right? So, the important thing about Pack Pizzazz, Bait and Pal, see things from the boys' point of view. In Cub Scouts, there is nothing more true than that. You need to see it from the boys' point of view.
It doesn't mean going like this.
Well, it could be. If you've got something really high and you're going to see it's going to frustrate them. But, you know, if it seems to be funny, gosh, if I was 7 or 8 or 9, would I find this fun? Yeah! It's so easy as a Cub Master. I'm constantly channeling my inner Cub Scout to the point of sometimes I can't turn it off when I go home. It's like I'm channeling that inner Cub Scout. Then I have to be an adult the next day at work. But I'm channeling that inner Cub Scout at the meeting. See it from the boys' point of view. So, we put on a great program. Teach the boys tons of skills. They come, they learn all kinds of great things that they're going to leverage probably throughout their life. But they still pay attention. They're over here, not touching you, or whatever the case may be, running around. Why? Because they're boys. They're full of energy. They've been sitting at school all day. They don't want to sit there and listen to you talk. They want action. They want it bigger than life. They've been used to watching TV where things are crazy, bright, brilliant. You got to be up there with them. So that's what part of Pack Pizzazz is. So, why? Your pack in your den is full of tons of different personalities. Introverts, extroverts, different skill sets, different interests, different energy levels, different amounts of activities already in their lives. So it's important that you've got to sort of engage everyone to make it entertaining and something that they are interested in. Oh, I should pay attention for at least a couple more minutes and figure out what it is. Attention spans are short. Most Cub Scout parents' attention spans are just about as short as their sons. They are. I could be talking to somebody, oh, hold on. I'm talking to you right now about your son. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk after you're done in a minute. And let's face it, we all fall into that. There are certain days my attention span is about that long. I've got a million things flying around and I'm not thinking about anything but the next task. Boys have already been quiet all day long. And you know what? If your parents aren't having fun, on the days when the schedule's tight, they had a stressful day at work, dinner burned, whatever the case may be, yeah, Tim, we're just not going to go today. Okay. Or you can go do something else. Okay. And all of a sudden, if the parents aren't having fun or thinking of it up to how important the program is, they start voting with their feet. They stop coming to your meetings. They stop going to the activities. They stop going to the things that make Cub Scouting so much fun. So you need to make sure that you've got a fun factor to it that even the parents are picking up. Enthusiasm is contagious. This was Pack 71's last Cub Master. Matter of fact, he was the very first one. I'm the second one in the Pack's history. His thing was inventions. Every Pack meeting, there was a brand new invention, to the point the boys would ask me, as soon as they see me, what's Mr. Barrett's invention? I don't know, but watch out, because there's always an invention that went horribly wrong. Obviously, he took a vitamin to give him all his vegetables, and it gave him a pumpkin head. The boys thought that was the best thing since sliced bread. Or the Speedinator, to make the Pinewood Derby cars, and he accidentally shot one of the other leaders, and he missed the Pinewood Derby cars, and the leader couldn't stop bouncing off the walls. That was great. I can't believe he did that. And they talked about it for weeks. When I took over Cub Master, the first thing that my son asked me is, what's your first invention going to be? I go, well, son, inventions are not my thing. You sure? You can invent something? It's not my thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't even get my boy to be interested in going to a pack meeting. I'm in trouble. Everyone has their thing. Pizzazz is about being bigger than life. There you go. So what is it? It's fun, energy, memorable. It's an attention getter. Useful for memory cues, different, and shows planning and caring. Okay. It doesn't always have to be bigger than life. Look at this picture right here. I've got tigers that are leading a flag ceremony. We've got all the lights off in the room with one spotlight on the U.S. flag. totally different than every flag ceremony that we had done that entire year. Do you think every boy was quiet and very attentive during that moment? Oh yeah. Since the pack meeting started and all the lights are off, ooh, yep. I've got one of their senses and I've got a hold of it. And we just took it from there. That's pizzazz. Doesn't have to be loud, doesn't have to be brash, it just has to be different. So, but you know, I just said something a minute ago that probably a lot of you probably weren't even thinking about. Pizzazz is also useful for memory cues. What's that mean? If I use the right props during the right parts, it adds another sense to what they're doing. If they're listening to me talk, for instance like this guy right here, about sportsmanship, and I'm wearing a referee's uniform, they immediately understand what the referee does. The referee keeps the game fair and makes sure that any infractions are called. It's about sportsmanship. They know that. So they're already in that mindset when I'm talking about sportsmanship. Later on, anytime I want to have a conversation about something, maybe another game or something like that, and that shirt comes back out, immediately they remember to talk about sportsmanship because it's been cued together. Maybe I wear a special hat when I do certain things. Maybe it's a special sound or music or something, but you put cues together and it's adding additional senses to what they're doing, not just their ears. Reusing props is okay. It's actually very good. Boys like some repetition. They like that kind of thing. So, but here's the key to pizzazz. It doesn't just happen. I can't show up at a meeting and go, today we're going to do pizzazz.
Oh yeah?
I mean, I can be on full energy and positive attitude all day long, but let's face it, that's just me being bigger and louder. Pizzazz actually takes some time, some effort. It does, you know, some people say, hey, that probably takes you as long to plan pizzazz as it does to do it. I say it takes twice as long to plan pizzazz as it does to do it. And some of us are like, wow, that's a lot of work, I'm not sure. But it pays dividends, big time. Okay, so over the next few months, we're going to go through every single one of these and talk about some reasons why these work and some real life examples of how you can use these and what you're going to do with them. Today we're going to do visual aids, but I'm also going to do skits, run-ons, props, costumes, songs, cheers, presentations, ceremonies, flags, takeaways. Pizzazz is in everything. Okay? So let's talk visual aids for a second. Now, we work with Cub Scouts. Cub Scouts are 6 to 10 and a half, right? Limited life experience. Depending on their parents, they may or may not have experience in certain things that we teach them about outdoors, or certain skill sets, or knots, or there's a lot of things that they may not have experience with depending on the parents. I mean, there are several parents in my pack that have never been camping and don't do anything outside. So anything we talk about outside is really foreign to them. Okay, so imagine I'm going to teach you something about backpacks. If I mention to most Cub Scouts backpacks, what do they think of? They're school book bags. That's exactly right. Why? Because every day we say, don't forget your backpack. Did you forget your backpack? Have you emptied your backpack? Where's the homework? It's in the backpack? That's what we say, right? Now, I say that over and over, but then I start talking about a backpack, and they look at me, and they don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine how different my conversation is if I have one of these. And we start talking backpack. And I have a boy come up here and show him how to fit it. And then I start talking about the rules of you want to make sure that your rain gear and certain things are exactly where you can get to as you're walking along. They should not be inside the backpack. They should be on one of the outside edges. How your water bottle should be on the outside edge. How your cup. How toilet paper should be on one of the outside edges. How much more powerful is that presentation? Now, here's another key to Cub Scouts. For that matter, almost any boy, no matter what their age. Boys need multiple senses. If you're just talking to them, they're getting it for a little while. But until it depends on how interested they are in that one subject matter, how long they stay focused. And they meander off here, or think about something else, or start playing, with a toy they happen to bring with them to the meeting. Ooh, car, or whatever, Bakugan or something. I also need to have them get up and start moving on the skill or presentation within about 5 minutes. You got about 5 minutes of attention for a boy before you better put something in his hand for him try what you're talking about. Even if it's the most simplest of nothing things. Maybe what I'm saying is, hey, we're going to do Morse code. I'm going to teach you a little bit of Morse code. And I talked for 2 or 3 minutes about a little about the history of Morse code and how it works and what a dash and a dot is. Hey, let's do some Morse code. Here's your card, visual aid. Hey, and here's a spoon on the floor. Dee, 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 dee. Okay, for a little while, every kid out there's ta-da-da-da. Okay, fine. It's going to be chaos for a minute or two. They're having fun, and you're talking to the teachers on it. You got to get them up and running. You got to get them going. If you don't, they're not gaining as much of the experience as they could. And you know, truthfully, most of the boys. I mean, here I am. We were going to go for a quick hike, and I'm showing them different type of pads for their underneath their sleeping bags. Young boys typically don't need any pads. It's us old people who need the pads with all the stuff in our backs and it. But you know, I'm showing them this is what a pad is, and this is the way it works. I had 3 or 4 different types. In reality, the boys had never seen any of them. Hey, touch them, squeeze them. You know, how small can you make this one? How small can you make this one? Do you think this would be warmer than this one? Does they put their face? I don't know. It might be warmer. I got them engaged, and they were thinking about these things. And they went home, and they knew something about backpack. The backpack. And finally, Cub Scout is about doing. Scouting is about doing. It's not about talking about it. It's not about lecturing it. It's about doing. That's why the best courses you've ever taken are the ones where you're actually up and doing things pretty quickly. At Wood Badge, you know, we typically have a game or some type of activity to lock in what you just learned within about 10 minutes. There's a reason for that. Even adults need that. We need to re-engage and start using our cognitive brain like, okay, this is how this works together. This is what it means in the real world, not just someone up there talking. So, what are the visual aids? Posters. Posters are cheap. Piece of poster board, printer, stick of glue. You can make it as pretty as you want, or as ugly as you want. It's your call. Songs. It's good to have songs on the wall. And a piece of paper in their hand. Songbook. PowerPoint. I use PowerPoint for this because it's convenient and also it's what adults are used to seeing. With a group of boys giving a long skill set, PowerPoint's not the way to go. Cub Scouts and PowerPoint don't usually last long. Not unless there's lots of flying in and flying out, maybe some spaceships. Every once in a while a monster come in and eating the screen. Something like that would be cool. That'd get them going, but as a general rule, PowerPoint doesn't do it. And the more scouting items you can put around the room, the better. Make the room not look like, typically you meet in schools. They've been in school all day. Make the room look something different than the schoolroom they just left. Even though we all know it's the schoolroom. Make it more scouting or some adventure or whatever.